Hello guys, so how it's going on? This is Pulkit this side, and today we are back with another video. So in this video we create this Google sign up page. I'll show you the functionality in a second. And also if you want to follow my Google clones or whatever whatever clone I create that is related to Google, so I'll be using the same sign up page because Google also does the same. So in the next video Google Meet will come out. So after this Google Meet clone, Google I don't explain this sign up page in there also. So make sure you make sure you go through it if you want to understand sign up page. If you already know this how to do this, then ignore this video. You can directly move on to my other videos. So if you're from future, by the time if you're doing this right now, I don't think I would have been uploading Google Meet now. It would come after exactly 1 week, right? So I'll show you the functionality. So here first of all you get this create account nice loading screen. Then you can also have it shows you errors also. For example, if I type, as you can see, if the name if something is not filled, then I cannot create it, right? So if I fill every name, and but what if I type what if the both the passwords are not same? If I click on create, it will immediately show me an error. So what if both the passwords are same, both the passwords are correct, but what if the users already exist? So if I click on create, it says email already in use, right? So it does not allows me to create. Let's create another account which will say test@gmail.com. So let's click on create. It says again, okay, I was not sure that it exists. So let's create a youtuber@gmail.com. Let's create that, and boom, we see this. And here you see this avatar at the top right corner over here, and you have this pop-up right up here. So this is the so now this, make sure you also do this, because this thing which I'm showing you is common in every Gmail clone, any Google kind of a clone which I create. So make sure you go through, make sure you do this. Or if you don't want to understand this, no issues, will be I explain a little bit of in the every video, but I exactly don't go through it in depth. So in this video I go in depth, I explain everything, and we create this. So it also has a sign out option, so user can sign out also, and immediately user gets uh, gets a redirect to this. So there's no way, if the user is logged in, he can access the home page, or without signing out he can also access this login page. So now let's start creating this, right? So guys, to start creating our application, all I have done is I have just opened an empty application. So inside of here I'll just open my terminal by pressing Ctrl J or Command J, and then over here I'm just gonna say npx create react app dot slash. So this will just basically like set up your all of our application, and will create a boilerplate code for us, right? So now what we can do is by the time it happens, it installs our dependencies on the boilerplate code. By the time we can go, what we can do, just go on to Google, open your browser, just search for firebase.google.com. So this is the database we are going to be using for our login authentication. It's pretty much very easy. So here we'll just, when you come here, just click on go to console on the top right corner. Then over here click on add a project. So inside of here, name and any project you want. So in my case I'll be saying YT login, just that's it, right? So here I'll click on continue. You can enable or disable this, it's up to you. You can if you're deploying it later, or like it's gonna be for a real use, then you can enable it, but I'll obviously delete it after some time. When I upload this video, I'll delete this project. So that's why I'm disable it. You can enable it, that's not totally an issue. So by the time I think, okay, so it is also set it, and so as you can see, we have this it says happy hacking and yarn start. So I'll just say yarn start over here. So by the time it also and here our project is also ready, so just click on continue. And before that, so this thing won't pop up for you. I have the original application already running, as I just to say why, and it will automatically set up my application. So it will open this thing for me. So if you see this thing appearing, that means that you have done everything right till now. So here now what we can do, you can set up a project. So when you click on continue, you'll see this thing. Just click on web over here. So once you click here, just wait for some time, yeah, and then type your name, whatever you want. So in my case I'll be typing login form, login project. So this name doesn't matter, so it won't be available publicly. So we'll just click on register app. We'll be hosting it later on. We don't need for now. And what we can do, we'll just click okay, so we're done till here. We're done for now, right? So first of all, we're done with the firebase now. So now let's start creating this. Okay, so I'll just zoom out a bit, zoom in a bit. Yeah, so let's create this now, right? So I hope you can see my screen properly. I have no idea. I think so. What I'll do, I'll keep myself zoomed out. 125 is fine, I think so. Yeah, 125 seems to be fine. Okay, so now let's get started building our application. So first of all, when the boilerplate code is ready, so first of all we have to delete some unnecessary files which we don't need. So the file, so just follow my steps. So delete setup test, report web vital logo, index.css, app.test. Okay, keep index.css, delete app.css and app.test.js. Delete all of these and then click on go to your app.js. We don't need this, and instead of here we'll just say h1 of hello, and then we don't need this also, we just deleted it. So we'll just say import react react from react, and then you can save this. Go to your index.js. Inside here delete all these 3 lines and also this import statement up there, right? Save that. Go to your application. I'll bring that up also. So now if I refresh, as it's hello appeared, right? So right, as you can see, it gets appeared up. We can see it right now. So now let's build our application, right? So first of all, what we'll do, we'll create another folder. We'll name it components, right? So inside of here we'll create 2 new folders. First of all will be our sign in, and the another folder would be sign up, right? So inside of here we'll create another file. We'll name it signin.js, and then another file inside of our sign in folder, styles.css. So in JS, now if you don't have this extension called ES7, just go to your extension and right over here in this corner you will see an extension kind of appears up. This doesn't allow me to show this, but this button, just click on here and search for ES7 and then just install this, right? I have already installed, so it's showing install for me, but here it will be install should appear up for you. So just install it. Go to signin.js, just say RAFCE, and then you get this boilerplate code ready, and there here we'll just say h1 of an sign in. If I save this, go to my app.js, instead of saying hello, let's let's call us sign in, and then moreover we have to also import it from also we have to import it. So we'll just say import sign in from ./component/signin/signin.js, right? Save that, go back to our application. We see a sign in also appears up, right? Great. So now first of all, let's go to our index.css. What we can say, we can remove this. We can just say body and comma HTML. To this we can give a font family of Arial, and you can give this font family, and then here we can say minimum height of 100% view height, and then that's it for this thing. And we'll target our and to all we'll give a margin of 0 and then a padding of 0, right? Save that. Now it will remove this. Okay, sorry guys for that noise. I can't do anything. I can't do anything for that. Extremely sorry. Yeah, so I see this now. What I'll do, I'll just make this in a one window. Yeah, better, right? So now first of all, let's creating the UI first, and then once we are done with the UI, we'll do our we'll start getting this, right? So guys, one more thing I will tell you, like we'll be using Material UI for this to get these nice inputs and all these, so we don't have to actually always do this. For example, if I click on, like you see it's right, it's like a normal input font now, but when I click this, it gets some nice animation and these icons. Yeah, so here it is this way now, but as soon as I click this, it gets some nice animation blue color, right? So either you can do it on your own, but you can use some package is a dependency, like it's similar to Bootstrap. So in our case, we'll be using Material UI. Go to your Chrome, search for materialui.com, and then this is the thing which we'll be using. So we'll just copy this statement. And also, if you want to use it in your project, so just go to your components, then they have a bunch of nice components over here. So just search for whatever you need. For example, in a case, it would, if you want button, so here as you can see this, and they have also the code how to use it. And if you click on this, then you will get the full detailed code, right? So here, now go back to your application. So what we'll say, over here we'll say, here we'll just say yarn add. I'm using yarn, so I'll say yarn add. I also recommend you to install yarn, and then I'll just say yarn add material UI / core, and material UI / icon. So the material UI core is for the basically our functional buttons or inputs which we'll be using, and many other stuffs. Icons are the material UI icons are for icons. So if you want to explore the icons, go to Google and just search for materialui.com/components/material icons. Go here and you see a bunch of icons appears up. Select whatever you need. You select, for example, this thing. Just copy this and just import this, right? So here, now what we can do, we can start creating it. So I won't waste much time. Now let's dive into it, right? So here, go to your signin.js. So first of all, I think you can see this properly. I don't know. Okay, let me check. Okay, it's fine. Yeah. So here we'll just say div of class name of here we'll give it class name of login, and then yeah. So here we'll have a class name of login. So inside of here we'll have another class name of login _content. So okay, so guys, go to your settings. Inside of your settings, search for emit. Okay, so it's enabled over here. I don't know why it's not working. Emit show status. It's allowing you to, okay, yeah. So here I have to enable this. So make sure go to the bottom and just click on this enable. The reason I'm telling you, for example, if I hit on tab, it will automatically do this, so you don't have to every time write this. So just so this is the way you can do this, right? So here, now inside of our login content, we'll have an another div which will name it login __ loading, not loading, sorry, wrapper. Here we'll have an wrapper over here. Inside of here we'll have an image to which we'll give an class name of, okay, so this doesn't work for some reason anyway. So here we'll just say login __ logo. So we'll give an src. So I'll just copy this here. So this is the source of our image. The link you can find it in the description box. The GitHub repo will be available there, and we'll just say Google. So here we'll just save this, and then yeah, so here we'll have another p tag of class name of login __ title, and then we'll just say sign in over here, right? So just copy this, and now here we'll just say continue to Gmail. Gmail, or basically like whatever the app you want, right? So continue to Gmail, and here we'll just say login __ subtitle, right? Save that, and then I think you should see bunch of things appear, sub image and all of these stuff. As you can see this, we'll style this later. First we'll finish with our HTML first, right? So here we'll have a form. To a form we'll give a class name of login __ form, right? And inside of here, now we'll have these nice inputs. So the input which I showed you earlier, so to get that we'll just say text field. So this is the way Material UI provides us. So here we'll give an ID of outlined basic, and then a label of email. So label is basically whatever the name or whatever the basic kind of a placeholder, and then here we'll have not exactly a placeholder but kind of a placeholder, right? So here we'll have an outline of a variant of outline. I'll tell you why are we using and variant of outline. Let me import this from Material UI. So guys, I'm using auto import. So auto import, basically if I click on space, this will automatically import for you. If you use your VS Code, then VS Code has this feature. I don't know about rest of the editors, but yeah, it's better to do. So I'll be using auto import from now, right? So make sure if you get stuck in between, just you can go to my GitHub repo. It's always available, right? So here, as you can see, we see this email. We just wrote a single line and we got this, right? So this is why we are using Material UI. It's similar to Bootstrap, right? So here we'll have this variant, and here also we'll give an type of email. So this thing makes sure that we automatically get those email suggestions, right? This, when I click on here, I'll get this bunch of I don't get this bunch of emails, right? When I click on this, I get this email list and automatically fill the password, right? So here so that is why what the type of email, make sure that it happens. So this works with normal input also. This is not a Material UI feature. This works with normal inputs also. So here we'll give a class name of login __ input, right? Save that. So as you can, so we don't see the email. Okay, we can't fill the email for now. I think you have to do once we do with the password, when we get a password. So similarly, we'll just copy this, and then here we'll have a label of password, right? So here we'll just say password, save that, and then I think sure we should, okay, I'm not sure why we are not able to fill that. Okay, we'll check that later. Okay, not this. Okay, I'm not sure why we are not able to fill that automatically. Okay, anyway, so okay, I'll see this about later. Type of password we are given, right? Type of email. Okay, might be some issue. So here we'll have an login. We'll have another div which we'll have, where we'll say login __ info text. Inside of here we'll say not your computer. One second, guys. Not your computer. Use guest mode to sign in privately, right? So here, now inside of here we'll have an href anchor tag of href of slash, and then here you can just say learn more, right? Save that. You should, okay, yeah. So here we'll have, now outside of this we'll have some buttons. So here we'll just say login __ buttons, and then inside of here we'll just say button, and make sure you auto import this from Material UI, right? Make sure you import this basically. So here we'll just say class name of login __ button. So guys, if you're wondering why whenever I click on the save it, my document will automatically get formatted, right? So this thing is happening because of an extension called Prettier. So just go to your extension and just search for Prettier and install this, and the same thing would happen for you also, right? So here class name of login __ button. Here we'll give an color of primary. So it will basically give a text color of primary, and then that's it. And here we'll say create account, right? So if I save this, we should see another buttons pop up, right? So it pops up, right? So we'll change this to this kind of a look later on, but yeah, anyway. So here now we'll just copy this once more, but now here we'll just, instead of having of primary, here we'll say variant of content. Make sure that the color fills that this I'll tell you what this content. So here inside of here, instead of saying create account, we'll just say sign in. Save that, go back to the application. As you can see, we say sign in appears up. So the reason we have this is because what the variant content does, because basically variant content makes sure that whatever color you are selecting, it automatically gets filled. So color is basically depends on primary. If I remove this, so we won't have any color, it will give a default color, right? So it also gives more option in primary, I think secondary or kind of a thing. Yeah, secondary, you have primary, second, and default. So secondary is kind of in reddish and pinkish color, but in our case we'll just have a primary, right? So we have this, now we have this things up, we have this HTML code ready for a sign in. Now what we can do, we can style this. So to style this, we'll go to just styles.css. So here first of all, to our login we'll give a display of flex, and then here what basically flex is, I'll explain you in a second. Flex direction of column, right? So what flex does is it will align all of its component, or whatever the components are inside of it, all of its child component, basically it will align them horizontally. And if you say flex selection column, then it will align them column wise, right? So here we'll give an height of 100 view height, minimum height actually, minimum height of 100 view height. And then here we'll just say justify content of center. So this will justify, it will align all of this content center and centrally, and also align items to center. So yeah, align items to center. Save that. Now if you see, everything will get centrally aligned. The reason nothing happens is because if you go to signin.js, inside there you have to import /styles.css, right? So save that. Now if see, as you can see, it gets central, it gets aligned centrally. So what if we remove this align items of center, and then if I save this, so as you can see, now these are not horizontally aligned. So justify content, make sure that these are vertically aligned, and align items, make sure these are centrally aligned. So this is inside of a flex. In case of a flex selection of column, it is opposite, right? So these things only works if you have an direction of display of flex, or else they won't work, right? So similarly, now I won't write the styles for everything. I'll explain you if there's some new style. So I'll just start copying it. So here I'll just say .login underscore content. So here we give a display of flex, selection of column, align of center. We'll align this and we'll give a nice border. If I save this, as you can see, we got some border. So we did nothing, these are just basic. Guys, sorry for that, guys, I'm extremely sorry. So here we given border. So this is basically the stroke of it, the stroke or whatever, how much big you want. So 1 pixel, 2 pixels, 3 pixels, the stroke. And here we given solid, or you can solid, and then then here we given color. So here we given radius to it, and then a padding, height, and some width, and position absolute. So if I position absolute, it is not possible to explain you in this video. So I cannot explain you properly in this, because to explain this I have to go practically. So practically I need to set up all of I need to create some divs over there. So what essentially I'll explain you what it is. So you just go on to Google or YouTube, just search for position absolute. What is position absolute? Because and you'll find more people that you can find more people that explain better than me. So basically position absolute does this key, it removes the item out of the flow, and then here you can give any position. So if I say top of 0, it will align it will get shifted to top. As you can see, it gets shifted to top, right? So similarly you can do this with left. So now it will get shifted to left, and if you want it to be on top left corner, then you can just say top of 0 and left also of 0, right? Similarly, you can play around this value. For example, you want it to be of 10%, of 10 pixels, or 10 times, anything. So it will, as you can see, it is 10% centrally aligned, right? So we don't need this for now. We can remove this. This was what. This was just basically an idea of position absolute. So here we'll just say .login underscore logo. To that we will give a width of 100 pixels, so it looks much decent now. So now to our login underscore wrapper, we'll give a display of flex selection column and align those centrally, right? It looks better. So here now to our login underscore title, we'll give a font size of 12 pixels, font weight 400, and margin top of 5 pixels, right? So looks better now. It will give in some margin for the top. And then to a subtitle, we'll give an font size of 16 pixels, font weight of 400, and margin top of 5 pixels. So it will give some margins, right? So to our login underscore form, we'll give an width of 100%, display of flex, and flex direction of column. So width of 100%, make sure that they cover all of the space that's available for them, right? So here we'll just say .login underscore input. To each will give a margin top of 20 pixels, right? So to our login underscore info text, we'll give a display of flex direction column, margin of 50 pixels, and color of some kind of brownish, so it looks better, right? So to our info, now we have the anchor tag inside of here. To our anchor tag, we'll give a blue color, font size of 500, text direction of none. So text decoration, make sure that you don't have this underline kind of a thing, right? So here now to our login underscore buttons, we'll give an margin of 40 pixels, margin left of 40 pixels, margin top of 0 pixels, right? So so as you can see, it has got some nice margins right now, right? So here to our login underscore button, we'll give an font weight of 500 and text transform of capitalize. So text transform of capitalize, make sure that the first letter of each word is capital. So and then to our login underscore button, so to first of type we given padding left of 0. So basically whatever the for example we have two places where we have a login underscore button, right? So we have these two places, so it will get the first time when you are using login underscore button, and to this we'll give an padding left of 0, right? So that's it. And now also we'll give some media query over here to inherit inside of this we'll to add 600 pixels will to our login underscore content. We'll remove the border and give them width this kind of a look, right? So great. So now since we have that, so as you can see it looks perfectly clean, exactly the same thing, kind of a exact not exactly the same, not exactly like Google, but yeah, exactly like this, same, both are same exactly, both are exactly same, right? So now the next thing we'll work upon is switching between a create account and a sign in. For example, if I click on create account, first of all you see this get loading and the background gets kind of a blur. So just notice guys, when I click on create account, we see this loading, it gets blurred, and then we see a sign in, right? So to do that, let's work on that now. So first of all, go back to your signin.js. So now inside of your signin.js, first of all we'll have an use state. So here we just say const here we'll have an use state of loading. I'll explain you what is use state is, and here we'll say set loading, and I'll be also creating, I don't know when I upload this. So most probably when I upload this, I think I would have uploaded a video on use state, use effect, and more such basic things of React. Most probably I've uploaded that, or I don't know, because this thing is definitely coming before the Google Meet comes out. Then I'll be releasing Google Meet, and the rest of the videos will come dependingly, right? So what usage basically means is key. So here this is the name of a variable. For example, you must know what a variable says. So for example, if I say var a equals to abc, right? So now if I have to change this value, what I simply can say is I can just say a equals to new value, right? So this value is changing, right? So similarly the same thing we are doing over here. So here we'll just say const of loading. So here is basically kind of an a. Okay, so I'll just to make sure you don't have any confusion, I'll just say loading here, and here also loading, right? So here is what is happening, we are saying var of loading, and to change the value we just say loading equals to new value, right? So yeah, so here what so now this similarly happens over here. So here we have a loading. So here, and to change the value, for example, we have to change the value whatever is inside it, we call a set loading, and then inside of a brackets we give whatever the initial value we want. For example, in our case initial value is gonna be false. In your case it could be an empty string, or any kind of a string, or an empty object, an empty array, depending on the need of yours, right? So I hope you got that what is loading is, and still you don't get it, don't worry. When we use this, when we use this, you'll get you'll understand more about this, right? So similarly I'll just create another state in which I'll just show sign up. So and here we just say show sign set show sign up, right? Set show sign up. Before that, let's also create a signup.js. So sign up.js. Here just we'll use the same trick rafc h1 of n hello, and then inside of here we'll have another file. Here we'll just say styles.css, and then for here let's just say sign up for now, right? So here now the next thing we'll do is now first of all now as you can see, as the name suggests over here, now so first of all this has to be an false over here, not an empty string, right? So now if this value is false, like whenever if this value changes to true, then first of all we have to show our sign up page. Basically now in order to show our sign up page, this value has to be true, right? So first of all let's work on how we'll show that. So here we'll if in the basics, when you're learning the basics for React, you must have used if condition, right? So what to do this, what we can do is, so we'll just say if show sign up is true, then here we'll just you do any whatever you want, right? So here or else you do any if anything else you want to do. So the same thing we are going to do with React inside of our HTML. So that is what React allows us, JSX, right? So but to get the sign up, you have to write you have to create a lot of brackets and brackets, I don't know for the reason. So to avoid that, we'll use something called ternary operators. So the way ternary operator works is this. First of all, you have to write, in order to write JSX inside of your HTML in React, you use curly braces. Now inside of here you write your JS. Now you're free, you can write any JS inside of this here you want. It's not recommended to use heavy JSX in here, right? So it also, yeah, so here we'll just say set here. Now we'll check if show sign up is true, then if show sign up is true, then to check if it is true, we use question mark. Then here inside of your this C brackets, you write whatever you want to you write whatever you want to do. So in this case you would need to have write return, and then for example an h1 of an login, right? So same thing we are going to do here. Okay, so here we'll do a sign up, and if it is not true, then we have to display this thing sign in, right? So we'll do the same thing over here. So I'll just say inside of here we'll just call our sign up. Make sure you auto import this from a sign up, and then if it is not true, then we will display our rest of the application, right? So here I'll just copy, I'll just cut and paste inside of over here, right? So okay, so we have this unreachable code detected, I don't know why. So just do this thing and just wrap it inside of an empty this thing fragment. So what okay, so still we have this issue, I think. So I have to remove this most probably, yeah. So the reason was of this, because obviously it does not make sense writing it this way. So here I'll just say save, and now if nothing would change over here. As you can see, we don't have any error. This only means that we don't have any error. So now if I change this to true, right? So if I change this to true, we should see a sign up. Let's check, do we see a sign up? Boom, you see the sign up, right? So now we have to now obviously we don't user won't obviously go to your code and change and then obviously set this value to true or false. So we'll set that value according to our JavaScript, right? So what we'll do, we'll create a function, right? So here we'll just say here let's create a function of const toggle sign up. Let's create an arrow function, and then here whenever the user so here we just want to we'll set our show sign up to true. So let me copy this, and here I'll just say now whenever the user clicks on this, so on click, I just run my this function is gonna get executed, right? If I save this, let's check if that works or not. If I click on sign in, okay, not this one, yeah. So let's refresh. Okay, so first of all I have to change the initial value to false, then only we are be able to see this, and moreover it has to be not over here, inside of here, right? So 1 second, yeah, now it's fine. And now let's check does that works or not. So if I click on create account, boom, you see this, right? Great. So here now the next thing we want to do, now if we don't want to change it so yeah, this is true that it can also change in a second, but we are purposely taking this time. The React actually does not take time since changing into seconds. As you can see, the value changes in fraction of second, and also execute this command in fraction of second. So we'll have to use something called set timeout. We'll use timeout for we'll wait for some time, and only we are gonna do this, show this, and then also we're gonna have a loading over here. So first of all, let's work on getting this. Let's work on how to have an wait for some time and then show it. So if I just, so to do that, go back to your this thing, toggle sign up. So instead of here we'll have a set timeout. So this works in pure JavaScript also. It's not a React special React feature. And inside of here, after this curly brace, you give the amount of time you want delay for, as it's in milliseconds. For example, if you want of 1.5 seconds, so here 1.5 second millisecond will be 1500 seconds, right? So here we'll give a timeout of 1500 milliseconds. That 1.5, that is 1.5 seconds, right? So here, and now after 1.5 seconds, we'll set our show sign up to true. Save that. If I click on create account, wait for one point. Okay, we don't see this. What are we? So here, okay, so I have to also say this to true, right? So it's empty, so it's gonna consider as false, right? So here, now let's refresh for being at a safe place, and if I click on create account, wait for 1 second, boom, you see this, right? So now this should work. So now let's work on getting a loading also. So first of all, whenever the user clicks on this, we'll set our loading to true. And then after 1500 seconds we'll hide our loading, right? So we'll just say false, right? So now let's work on displaying a loading screen. So first of all, inside of your login content, where we have a login content, over here just say loading and add. So if loading is true, so this is, so I was explaining if else, right? So this and basically means if loading is true, then what do you want to have, what do you want to return, right? So here we won't have any else statement, we just in single one. So in case if you don't have any else, so we just say and add, or else it will throw up an error if you do this, right? So here we'll have a div of class name of login underscore loading, right? Save that. Now let's style it. Obviously won't see anything, so first of all let's style it. So go back to style.css. So first of all, we'll create some keyframes. So if you don't know about keyframes, I won't be going in much depth. I discuss about it in depth in the video in which I create this thing, the loading animation. In there I go in depth, so just to refer to that. So I'll explain you and give a brief idea of here. So I'll just say A to S. So this is basically a name. It could be any name you want to give, it doesn't matter. So at 100% of total time, 100% of total time, we will give an opacity of 1. So this basically depends on the total time whatever the animation is being called off, right? So similarly, what I'll do, I'll copy and similarly another animation. So here, and I'll just copy and paste this, right? So this is basically at 0% of total time. It will translate text. Basically, if the x-axis is 0 for now, whatever the x-axis is, for example, consider this the original position of this. Take this cursor. I'll explain you what is translate text. So for example, this is the current position of the cursor, right? So for example, cursor, whatever the object is, it is on this position. So translate x minus 300 pixels does this key. It will change the position of x-axis from here to here, and how much this will be amount is, it will be of minus 300 pixels, right? Minus 300 pixels. So it will be and similarly, if you say minus 300, so it will shift it by minus 300 pixels to the right side. So for here minus 200, and similarly this other thing, right? So I hope you got that whatever I said, and now let's continue. So here now, as you can see, we are basically reducing opacity, reducing our translate x, right? So it basically like it comes more closer to it. So right, so first of all, to our login underscore loading, we'll give an animation of A to S 500 milliseconds. I'm going depth in this inside of my animation video, so you refer to that. And then we have a height of 4 pixels and overflow of head, position of relative, nothing much going around. And then over here we're giving a before animation of 812b. Guys, if you don't understand this, don't worry guys, just go to that video. I'm explaining in depth whatever it is, right? So just the basic things we are going on over here, right? So now it should work now. So if I click on create account, boom, you see this and we see this, right? So this thing works. Another thing we need to do, we'll also need to get a blur effect, right? So to give a blur effect, what we need to do is we'll add class name, right? So whenever, so go to this go over here inside of our login underscore wrapper, where we have a wrapper. Yeah, so over here what we'll do, we'll give an styles over here. So we'll give an style equals to, and opacity, will reduce the opacity. We'll actually not give a blur kind of an effect, we'll reduce the opacity. We won't give a blur, there's different thing, and reducing, we'll just reduce it brightness or darkness, you can say, right? So here we're gonna check opacity. If loading is true, right? If loading is true, then we are gonna have an opacity of 0.5, or else we are gonna have an opacity of 1, right? That's it. So here this is the way you style this. So if loading is true, then opacity is 0.5 or else 1, right? So let's refresh, and now this should also work. If I click on create account, boom, the opacity also decreases, right? So now let's create this create account now. So here it will be a kind of a long HTML because we have a lot of inputs and stuff going around over here. And then the file size also increases when we actually add those things, the form data, right? So here now let's go to signup.js. Over here we'll give a class name of sign up. One second, I just set my keyboard properly. It's kind of been going around. Yeah, fine. Yeah, here so we'll give a sign up underscore container. And then inside of here I'll give here we'll have another class name of sign up. If you think that my names are weird, you can guys use your own, because I know my names are pretty much weird. So anyway, so just bear with me. And here we'll have another div of sign up underscore container, and then inside of here we'll have an sign up underscore left. And then outside of this we'll have another class name of div of sign up underscore, right? Basically we are gonna have image over here, our image which we use, right? So over here, first of all, let's get our logo. So so just go to sign in, and over here copy this, right, and paste it over here. So here inside we can keep the same class name because the styles are gonna remain the same. So here we can give we'll have an h1 of class name of sign up underscore heading, and then here we'll just say create your Google account, right? Copy this once more, and then here we'll just say continue to Gmail, right? So here inside of heading, instead of heading we'll just say subheading, right? So now let's continue, and then outside of this we'll have a class name of inputs, sign up underscore inputs, this way. And then inside of here we'll have another class name of sign up underscore name inputs. And then here we'll have another, we'll now start getting our inputs over here. Just let's copy this, go to your sign up, right? So here we'll just set text field. And also one more, guys, I forgot to do is here to this create account, let's give a type of submit, so it works whenever we click on enter on it. Whenever we click enter, so it will automatically get your thing, what I'm saying, it will automatically execute whatever the command, right? So here now over here, instead of label, it's not gonna be email, it's gonna be our first name, and over here we'll also have a type of name, and then class name will be our sign up underscore name input, right? So here that's it for over here. Let's check if everything appears properly. Okay, obviously it will look kind of weird because we have not styled it yet, but yeah, we'll style it soon. So here, now that's it. So now copy this once more, and then over here we'll have an instead of having a first name, we'll have a last name over here, and again sign up of underscore name input, right? So now outside of this div, again copy this. So here we are gonna have an email and label of email, and then we'll give a full width over here. So material will automatically check and given it will automatically give an width of 100%. Guys, it doesn't work for normal divs or normal HTML tags. It only works for our this thing, material UI, right? So here we'll give a type of email and a type of email, and then with a full width, and then over here we'll have an and here over here we'll have an helper text. So we can actually remove the class name, and instead of that we'll just say helper text. So I'll tell you what helper text is. For now we'll just say you can use letters, numbers and periods, right? Save that. Now I'll explain you what is helper text is. So you see this things appears up, right? So this is what helper text is actually is, right? So here now outside of this we'll have an another class name of signup underscore password inputs, and then inside of here we'll have an another class name of sign up underscore password wrapper, and then here we'll have a text field, and then here we'll give an ID of outline / basic, and then I'll give a label of password this way, and then okay, actually you can copy this, and here we'll have a type of password, right? And then variant of outline, variant equals to outline, and then we'll also give a class name of sign up underscore password input, right? Self close this, save that, and okay, you see this password also. Similarly I will just copy this once more, and then over here we'll have an sign up underscore password input, and then here I will just say confirm password, right? Save that. Variant of outline, that's fine. So now outside of this div, outside of our wrapper, basically we'll have a p tag of class name of sign up underscore helper text. So I'll explain you why we are doing this. So helper text, and then here yeah, that's it. And then here we'll just say, I'll just copy this one, use 8 or more letters, numbers and symbols, right? I'll just copy and paste this. So save that. And now the reason we are using this is because, so as you can see, this is very a big helper text over here, right? So this thing actually for giving an helper text 2 and 1 input will only work for in 1 input, right? So if you give an helper text for this, it will only cover the space till here, it will cover all of this. So I just created another one. I can also add a parent input and doing an inside writing all of that, but I thought let's do it this way. And then we'll have a checkbox over here. We'll style this later, don't worry. So outside of our p tag itself, after a p tag basically, so here we'll have an form control label which comes from material UI. Remember to import it. And then here we'll just say control of here we'll give an color of primary, first and then name. First of all we're gonna have a checkbox, and then here we give an color of primary, color equals to primary, right? That's it for now. And then make sure you close it also, and then over here we'll give an label of show password. Save that for now so that it looks better. And then here let's give a label of show password, Let's save that. Now I think we should see this input also appears up. Great, so it also appears up. Perfect. Now also let's add these buttons over here. So outside of this, let's create an another class name of dot sign up underscore buttons, and then over here we'll have, I'll just get that button from a sign in. So let me get this over here, sign up. Yeah, so here let me get this button, auto import this from material UI, and here we'll just say class name of sign up underscore button, variant of text, and then color of primary, and not type of submit, not over here. Did we wrap it inside of a form? So as you can see, we didn't wrap it inside of a form, so we have to do that. So we'll just say form over here, right? So I hope now everything's inside of a form, right? So I'll also do this over here. Okay, so also guys, one more thing, we'll just install this extension auto rename tag, so it will automatically rename the corresponding close tag, right? So yeah, so if I change this over here, for example, if I change to FRM, so up there automatically it should change, right? So it automatically gets changed. So have that, it's good to have that. So here now here we just say sign in instead, and then yeah, so here copy this once more, and then here we'll give an type of submit and smallest, and then here we'll give an variant of, and then here we'll give an variant of content. That's it. Save that. You should see a button also appears up, right? It appears up. Great. So here also, okay, we just say sign up over here, we just say create account, right? So save that, and so we see this, right? So also let's get our image up there. So here outside of our this div, here we'll have an you can change this to figure, and then sign up underscore we can just say figure over here, and you can also have a div. It doesn't make much sense, right? It is actually, it's both are kind of similar. Then inside of here we'll have an image, and then here we'll have a figure caption, right? So I'll just get that, I'll just copy and paste this, right? So save that, and you see this, obviously it's not looking nice, but we'll make it look nice. So okay, so guys, go to your styles.css, and now let's style this. Make sure you are importing it, if not imported, so we'll just say import.styles.css, right? Save that, go back to your style.css, and now let's style it. So first of all, to a sign up container, we given display of text, aligned or center, justify container space between. So justify a container space between, make sure that it will like stretch both of the items to their end. It will basically, it will make them it will give the spacing between them the maximum amount of space that's available for each of them, and it will push them and push the first and second container to the ends. So here to our sign up, we give up some borders, and this thing, the sign up underscore figure, we give a text line of center, margin right of 0, right? Looks better. So here now to a figure image, we'll give an max width of 100%, width of 224, and height of 244. Great. So here to a figure caption, we'll give an font size 16 pixels, font weight of 300, right? So actually does, yeah. So here now let's also work on this. So here to our sign up underscore heading, 1 second, to be given font size of 24 pixel, font weight and some font weight. Then to our subheadings, we are going to give some font size. Now to our inputs, we'll give a margin top of 40 pixel, and then to our name inputs, we give a display of flex with 100%, justify content space between, margin mode of 20 pixels, and then over here given to our name input, we give some margin. Then to our password inputs, then to our password wrapper, we give a display of flex, and then to our password input, we give this thing, margin right, and then we get our helper text also. So now our helper text also looks good. Why this thing open up, right? So okay, so helper text doesn't works now. I think I misspelled something, so I think I'll go back to my sign up, and then where I am having my helper text, I'll copy this and paste it. Okay, looks better. We are almost done with styling this also, and then we'll be fully done with this. So now let's work on the remaining thing which are left. So to our button, now let's style a button. Go back to style.css. We'll style a button. So now then to our button, we'll give a font weight of 500, text transform capitalize, and then to our sign up underscore loading, we can position affiliated top of 30 pixels left or left and kind of and left, and then to sign in underscore. Now we also have some media queries over here appears up, right? So here to us we'll say dot sign up, and then we'll also get our name inputs over here. So I'll actually get all of this at once, right? So I'll get this. So guys, if you want to know what actually, so guys, if you want me to explain each and every style in depth, then you can actually comment that on the you can comment me, because many people came to me, they said that there's no need of actually going to the CSS. So I hope that's okay for everyone, because actually this makes the video hell lot of a longer, right? Like writing the CSS, I'm not copying the all of the CSS. I explain the basic things, because CSS is very easy, right? Just just some display of text, and these are the basic things which you should know. The rest is just margin, heights, border, right? That's it. So you can also suggest me, and that is not always not an issue. So here, save this. Now everything should look much better now, and as you can see, it looks great and perfect. So okay, so now I cannot understand one thing. Why are we actually, guys, we should, like, the way it's happening here, like as you can see. Okay, so this is not working over here. Okay, it's working. Okay, as you can see, like here I am able to like auto select it. This thing also should work. I don't know why it's not working. Okay guys, so I got the reason why it's not working, because I'm using localhost 3002 for the first time, and it might have not saved it. So if I would be on localhost 3000, then it would have actually saved it. So if I click on create, right, so if I just say, let's get me this thing. So actually now I should have something. Okay, so as you can see, it is having it gets this thing, right? So it is working. Basically it kind of working. If I save this, as you can see, it has started automatically filling it over here, right? So anyway, so this works. Now let's also work on this thing, sign in instead and all of this, to also make sure that the user can toggle between sign in and sign up. So we have to obviously make the toggle functionality available over here also. So here, go to the top. So here also what we'll do, we'll use something called props in here. So here where we have a set show sign up, we'll pass that as a prop, right? So what set shows what props basically means is it allows us to pass different values between different this thing components. I also talk about it in depth in many of my videos. You can all look around that also. That's not an issue, right? So I go in depth. So this is basically the so I will create another video in which I'll be going in depth around here. So here how do you do this? What are these? So basically you just get this value. If you want to get it's for now, just understand this way. If you want to send this value between two files, then you just pass the value whatever it is. Here you can give the name. You can just change any name you want, but the name should be same here. The reason we do that, the reason the name should be same here and not here, I'll explain you in some other video, right? For now you just get it this way. So I'll create another video on it, definitely, guys, don't worry. I'll slowly I'm just starting a lot of the videos. Sooner or later I'll have a small video on everything, right? So the same way we are doing with here, we'll do the same thing over here. So go to signup.js, we'll give an loading over here. Let's import our use state, and then let's create a function of toggle signup. To do that, first of all, let's copy this. Actually, you can copy all of this, and then make sure you also auto import this. We are auto importing this, right? So here we set a loading to true. Then so we are doing the same thing, but here we have to change it to false, right? So do the same thing. Sorry for the noise, I can't do anything, right? So here do the same thing. Okay, so here now we'll give an on click over here to our button. So here I'll just say on click equals to toggle sign up, right? Fine, okay, that's fine. And here let's display our loading also and give an blur effect. So here first of all, here let's give an blur effect. So I'll just say style equals to if loading is true. If loading is true, then okay, not this way. First of all, opacity, and then if loading is true, then 0 will give an of 0.5, or else we just save 1 over here, right? Save that. Did I use string over here? Okay, so it has to be inside of a string. So rapid is hiding a string, right? Save that. Let's see if that works. Go back here, click on sign in instead. Okay, it's working, right? So now last thing you need to do, we need to get this sign, that we need to get a loading, right? So now let's do the same thing. So here to our div class name, so here out after this we'll just check if loading is true, loading, and we'll give a div of class name of login underscore loading and sign up underscore loading, and obviously self closing div, right? Save that. And guys, also if you are interested in compound components, the way compound components work, what are they, let me know. I'll also create a video on that. And maybe I'm not sure, maybe I start also using those as using those in some of my projects, but for some reason, like, there's a lot of boilerplate code you need to write. Anyway, so for now I'll just do with this thing. I'll just do the normal way we do it, right? So here now let's check if this works. Sign in instead, I click on this, boom, we get this loading also, right? So basically this thing is working, right? So now we can start working on JS part, right? So first of all, now we have to initialize our firebase inside of our project, right? So because of now this doesn't know that we have to use firebase or whatever to authentication, we have to use firebase or something, that kind of a stuff, right? So here we created this. So what you need to do, go to your project. So inside of here, let's close this. Inside here, let's create another folder. I'll name it lib. Inside of here, we'll create a new file, name it firebase.js, and then inside of here just say import firebase from firebase. Okay, also first of all we have to add a firebase CLI also over here. So just say yarn add firebase, not CLI dependency, right? So just add this. So this is the way we use firebase. So just say yarn import firebase from firebase, and then we say import import firebase /auth, and then we just say const firebase config equals to, then just copy all of this thing here, this key or basically credentials, and then here we just say firebase dot initialize app and firebase config. Then we'll also export our auth. So we'll just say export const auth equals to firebase dot auth, this way, right? So that's it. So we have now successfully initialized our app to a firebase. That's great. So now we have to now let's start using a firebase. So here let's work on sign up first. Okay, let's work on sign up, right? So here go to your sign up. So first of all, let's get the value of the, let's store the value of whatever the input type, because for now we don't know whatever the, for example over here we don't know whatever the user is typing. For example, I have typed Pulkit, so our computer doesn't stores the value. We don't have any access to that value. So first of all, let's store that inside of a variable. So here we'll create an object for here, because we have a lot of input, so I don't want to create multiple use states. So here we'll just have an object. So we just say const form data set form data. Then over here we'll have an initial value, and now let's create that initial value up there. So just say const initial value equals to, now inside of here we'll just have an initial value, first of all our first name to an empty string, then our last name to an empty string, then our email also to an empty string, and a password to an empty string, and confirm password to an empty string, right? Save that, and now let's set a form data also over here. So here first of all give a value of form data dot name, first name, right? If I save this, now notice guys, you won't be able to write anything inside of here. I'm typing guys, over I'm typing, and I'm not able to type anything. Last time works. So the reason is key, explain the reason. So if I go up here, if I write anything, I just say hello. Okay, sorry, yeah. So if I just say hello over here, right? If I save this, I will see hello PSR. Okay, let me refresh. As you can see, the hello PSR, now I cannot change this value anyhow, right? Because now this value is static, and now obviously we need to also tell a computer to also change our value, because we have to also change our value, right? So here to do that, we'll just say on change equals to an event of arrow function and an event, and over here we just say set form data to whatever the form data was, like spread the form data whatever it was, but for me just change the first name, only the first name, to e dot target dot value and wrap it inside of an squiggly braces, right? So now we should also be able to change the value. Now if I save this, if I write anything inside of it, boom, we can write anything. So it is actually getting stored inside of our initial value, this inside of a form data. Sorry, initial value always remain the same, but the form data is getting changed, right? So here now we'll do similarly, we'll do with every input. So here I'll just say first name to last name, and also over here copy this once more. Over here we'll say to email, and then copy this, and over here we'll have a password, and over here we'll, okay guys, so one more thing guys, we are doing, yeah, okay, actually we are doing everything right, sorry, we're doing everything right, I got it, yeah. So here we'll just say confirm password, right? Save that, yeah, save that, and now we could now just make sure we are able to type everything, yeah, okay, so everything is working perfectly great. So now let's work on the logic. Go back to our application. Now inside of here we'll have two new states which will take note of our error. It's gonna be password error and then a mail error. Looks like this. Here we have these two new two states which we are gonna have this, and then now let's create an function called login. Const login equals to login. Sorry, sign up actually. So sign up. You can say create account. Just like create account. Right. So here we'll create an account, and then over here let's. So first of all here we'll just say we'll set our loading to true. So we'll set our loading to true. Like now whenever you click on this, it will take some time. It will like it depends on the internet how much time it takes to create an account. It will be around 2 or 3 seconds maximum if you have good amount of internet, not more than. If you have really bad internet, then that's a different case, right? So here we'll have an error. We'll create a new state. We'll just say const error, which will be true if form data dot password is equal. It will be false if form data. It will be true if form dot password if it is equal to form data dot confirm password, right? So if it is, then it will be true. It does not mean error is there. You can also have a not equal to. Actually you can just say not equal to. If then it will be true. If it is not equal to, then we have an error, or else we don't have any error, right? So here we say if Yeah, so if not equal to error, basically if it is false, then basically if both of these don't match, then we would say set our password error to state of true, and then here message of passwords do not match. Similarly, we'll do with our email error. Here we'll set this to initial value. Basically, whatever the initial value was, we'll just set that to initial value, right? And then okay, so we don't need this. Okay, you can keep this. So yeah, so here we can have this. We'll set this to initial value in case if there was earlier there was an email error, but it will get removed now, right? And here we'll set our form data to whatever it was earlier, and we'll spread our form data, and then we'll just say a confirm password of an empty string, right? So else if it is not the case, here also let's just say return, right? And if it is not the case, then we'll set our email error to the initial value. So okay, let me make this let me have another const error initial value equals to this thing, and copy this, Control X, Control V, we don't need double of these, and then over here we can just say const error initial value. Over here also we can remove this, and then over here we can just say this, and then we'll set email error, and then we also say set password error. Okay, not this way. Yeah, so set our email error to initial value and set our password error also to our initial value, right? So now let's also display our error. First of all, let's have an on click at first. So here let's give an on click, or guys, we won't have on click, we'll have an on submit over here. This is on submit equals to create account, right? Great. So here now let's also display our error. So where we have our input of confirm password and password. So inside of here, guys, we'll display our error. So here first of all, our material UI gives us this thing allows us to show up the error. So here we'll say error equals to password error dot state. So if it is true, then it will give a kind of a red color of kind of a red color thing which you just showed on error, right? So if I go back here, as you can see, it gets this red color kind of an error kind of a look, right? So here our data breach, and that's not an issue, that won't happen again, right? So here we have this. So here we'll do the same thing with over here password error dot state, right? So here that's okay. Now this thing, now we have to format our this thing. So here first of all we'll have a string concatenation over here, right? So here I explain you what is this, and then here we'll check, right? So here first we'll check if password error dot state is true, then we add another class name of signin __ error. So here what is basically happening is now here we are writing in some JS over here. So we wrap inside of curly brace, as you can see we say JSX attribute, automatically gets that, right? So here it's JSX, and then here it check if sign up. So it will always have this class name, and then here we add this. So you write dollar whatever if you want to add something, and inside of curly braces, guys, these are not the single commas, these are the backticks. So these are available on the key above your tab key. So just press on that and you'll get this, right? So if password error dot state is true, then we'll have another class name of signin __ error. Then we'll give a red kind of a look, and then we'll say, then here we'll check if password error dot message is true. Then if password error dot state if password error dot state is true, then we'll just say a password error dot message and use 8 or more correct letters, number and symbols, right? So now save that. Also let's have an sign in underscore error. Let's give it class color. 1 second, I'll get that color. So here let's add this color to it, and now let's check if that works. Let me write two different okay, one more thing we need to do is key. Okay, now we are also need to have this confirm password. Like we can also this, what I mean to say is key, like we can also add, we can show this on, when we click on this we can see the password, right? We'll also do that now. If I click on create, as you can see, okay, so I did something wrong actually. So if I go to my sign up, so okay, actually it is taking as an on submit. So here where we have an on submit, let me do it this way, create account, set loading to true. Yeah, so here instead of having it on up there, we'll just say on click equals to create account, right? Let's do it this way, and then now we should actually be getting the error. Now let's check. Okay, so the thing happening over here is it is refreshing. We will have to prevent that, and I'll tell you how do we prevent it. So just go over there, so go to the top here, accept an event, and go over here, just say event dot prevent default, right? And then save this. Now we won't have a refresh. So I click on create. As you can see, we see this password to normal. Don't worry, this loading is going to resolve later on, right? So over here, now let's continue working upon our application. So here go back to your sign up. So now where we have our login, 1 second guys, some purpose kind of anything appears, sir. Yeah, okay, so go on. Yeah, so here we'll now here first of all we'll call our authentication, which we imported from user from Firebase, so that means it is automatically imported. Then here to create an email address, we do true simple thing. We just say auth dot create user with email and password, and here you just say form data dot email, and here you say first of all you give a email over here, and here you give a password. So email data dot password, right? Save that, and now let's create an account, right? So let me refresh, and also let's first of all go over here, go to settings, not setting, go to your authentication, right? This thing over here, go to your authentication, then click on get started. Wait for some time. Yeah, so over here click on this email and password over here, click on this, click on enable, and click on save, right? So now let's create an account. This will just see the magic, right? So if I give this an email of Pulkit, over here also Pulkit, we don't need first name and last name for now. If I click on create, and now let me check if we get a user. Boom guys, get this user, it gets saved. It wasn't earlier, I should have shown you, but this user was not earlier signed in, right? So it is automatic, the users get created also, signed in also. So this is how you create an email. Now you can do anything. First of all, let's add and show password and disable password first of all, right? So here we'll create another state. We'll just say const check set checked equals to use state of false initially, right? And then here I'll copy this, go to the bottom of your application where we have this thing. 1 second. Yeah, so here where we have this form control label. Yeah, so over here first of all we'll give a checked of check, so it will automatically change the value accordingly. And here we'll also give an on change, so on change equals to an arrow function, and then we're gonna set our check not equal to check, right? Save that, and then go to the top, go to your input where a password. Yeah, so here now we will check if our checked is true. If our checked is true, then we'll have if our checked is true, then the type is gonna be of text, or else it will be in password, right? Copy this and then save, do the same thing over here, save that, no thanks, and then it's working, right? So working, right? Working, great. So here now let's do the same thing over. Now let's also add a display name. Now let's work further, so we can take a note upon error and all of this, right? So first of all, whenever you use this firebase.create account password, it will return you a promise. So what is promise? Basically is key. It will give you a promise of dot then and dot catch. So what is, so here you can just say dot then you can have an arrow function over here, and then you also get in dot catch. I'll explain you what is this. So dot, and here we'll accept an parameter called error. So here what this does basically means is key. So now if this thing, if the create user with email and password is, it automatically it successfully gets created, no error is thrown away, then we have you get this, whatever you write inside of this gets executed. Or else if it is not the case, then if we get an error, then whatever you write inside of here gets executed, right? So here now if it is true, now we'll add a display name and I will add a name to our this thing. So to add a name, so to save a name to a firebase, so like firebase doesn't know that you are giving a name also. So to do that, we just say auth dot current user dot update profile, right? So this is the only way that you can do, there's no other way. So here we'll add a display name. So as you can see, it gives the not new password, I will just say update profile, right? Update profile. And over here, as you can see, it gives you this display name photo URL, so you can have an avatar for it also, right? So here in our case, it will be only a display name. So for our display name, you'll use string concatenation, which will first of all will be the form data dot first name, and then after a space we'll have a form data dot last name, right? That's it. And then if this thing also get executed, so it will also actually return promise. So if this is also successfully created, then after this we are gonna have a set loading of false. Basically our user account gets created, so we have a set loading of false, and then we'll just set our mail error to the initial value and also our password error. So set password error to initial value, right? And then in case if we get an error, so now error could be of, so now if error dot code, so it will be an kind of an object, you can console log it and see what it is. And then if the error dot code is triple equals to auth slash email already in use, if the email already exists basically, then we'll set our mail error to state of true, message of email is already in use, and then obviously set loading of false. Actually we'll add it over here every time it's gonna happen, right? Set the loading of false, and then set form data to whatever it was, but make the email should be empty, right? Then similarly we do it for invalid email, right? So I'll just remove this, 1 second. Okay, so it gets kind of a very big, yeah, it's fine now over here, yeah. So here actually we can remove this also, and over here you can just say set form data to, yeah, so whatever it was and confirm pass of this. Okay, so now everything is fine, great. So now this thing is working, and set mail error and password to initial value. Okay, so this basically means of invalid email. So if email is not properly formatted, then we'll say set a mail to not properly formatted. And this is a base common, this is just basic JS and basic English, basic kind of a JS and English, both of that, right? Save that. Now actually we are done with creating our account. Also we need to display our error also for our email, we'll do that also. So I'm just thinking if I forgot to explain you something, or else I'm just wondering if we haven't forgot anything, right? So here we are set loading out to true and then false. Okay, fine. Okay guys, so here let's do one more thing. So now if our email is true, but earlier if the user got a wrong password, then we just say set password error to initial error, initial, not initial value, error initial value, right? So error initial value. Similarly here we are having a password email, right? So over here also we'll do the same, and over here we'll do with our for our email, set email error, right? Save that. Now let's first of all display our email errors. So where we have our email, so I'll just look around for that. So here, right over here we are having an email. So here first of all, the way we did it, error equals to email error dot state, and then over here we'll have an error of this, and then here we'll have an helper text. Now it depends if on the state. So if email error dot state, it is, if it is true, if the error exists, then we are gonna have a email error dot message, or else we'll just say this thing. You can use letters, numbers and periods, right? Wrap it inside of a string, and then you can remove this and save this. And now first of all, let's write we already know this email exists, right? So first of all, let's create a different wrong. Okay, so this thing doesn't works. Okay, so we have an issue occurring over here. We have to set our loading to false also, right? So here okay, so here we have to say set loading to false. Here we'll just say set loading to false, right? This thing we forgot. So let's try it back again basically. So here let's write in wrong password. Let's create it. Passwords do not match. Okay, we don't get this. Why don't we get this? Let me check. It should be of red color, right? So if you go down at the bottom, so where we have our helper text, so sign in underscore error, I think okay, so we should actually have this thing appearing up. So why it's not, it should be red actually, why it is not happening? So if I open my console, okay, so we have to give an important over here. That is the reason it's not working. The styles are getting overwritten, right? Save that. Now it will work. So I'll go back to my application. As you can see, it works. So we get an error. So what if the password is right? What if the password is right and the emails also exist? Let's create it. It says email already in use. Let's also we'll do this thing where it is working fine, right? What if we just say pulkit123@gmail.com but type the wrong password? If I just say 123456, here also 123456, let's create. Okay, email already in use. Obviously email is already in use. Okay, so that is for sign in. Wrong password will obviously work for sign in, right? So here, okay, so this thing is working. That means that is great. So now let's create. So okay, so this thing is working. There's nothing to worry much around here. So now also one more thing, we'll haven't disabled over here. For example, what I mean to say is ki, as you can see, if the user has not written first name and this, then he cannot click it. He can only click it whenever the user has filled the details properly, fill the details, right? So to do that, what we'll just say, we'll go to a signin.js. So inside of here, we'll go to the top, and then okay, also guys, one more thing to be double sure. So here what we can also say is, so if still the error is there, we are not able to get the code but the error persists, if the error is still here, just say else if the error is still over here, like if we get we have an error. So then we'll just say set pass. Okay guys, so here set, okay, so set password. Okay, so this is the, I'm doing this actually wrong, yeah. So here it has to be state of this thing, state of true, and then message of password should be at least 6 characters, right? Similarly, I don't know how can I do this silly mistake, right? So similarly we'll do this for over here also. So here we'll set the state to true, and then our message to email is not properly formatted, right? So don't, it will work. I am pretty much sure about that. State of true, message or password would be, yeah. So if our error still exists, then we'll just say set mail error, set email error to our state of true, and we'll just say of an unknown unknown error occurred. It has not to be equals to over here, it has to be a colon. So here just is set password error similarly, and then obviously we have to set the loading to false over here, right? So okay, so here that's fine. And now let's also do one more thing. So we'll have an const disabled. So in here we just check if form data dot first name, or if it is basically if form data dot first name is does not exist, basically if it is an empty string, or else if form data dot last name, if it is an empty string, then it will be true. Then if, or else it is just basic JavaScript, right? Nothing to explain over here. So if form data dot email is true, or else if form date, not firebase, form data dot password is true, or else if form data dot confirm password is true, then it is gonna be obviously false, and it has to be not equal to. Okay guys, I just said something wrong. So if it doesn't exist, then we are gonna have disabled. I don't know what I was saying, sorry. Yeah, so if it doesn't exist, then if any of these things doesn't exist, then we are gonna have it true over here, right? So here copy this, go to at the bottom. So material already accepts a property called disabled. So here we just say disabled, and then you have to pass pass a boolean over here, true or false. So it will be disabled, which is a boolean, as you can see. Save that, and now okay, close this, and as you can see we cannot create it. I can only create until unless I fill all the details, right? So let's create an account with Pulkit Gupta, and then here test @gmail.com, and then let's create a password of Pulkit. I always keep the password to be Pulkit, so I remember. So here let's create this account, click on create account gets created, go to your authentication, refresh, and boom, you see this, right? So now let's create an email. So let's create a sign in functionality also. So sign in is also very much similar only. So here go to your sign in. First of all, let's create two new states, or to make sure we have an data whatever the user is typing, right? So here is just email, set email equals to use state of an empty string, and then password, and set password error, not password error. Yeah, so over here, yeah, so now go to your inputs. Yeah, so over here we have an email, so just say email over here, and then on change, again an arrow function which accepts an event, and then we over here we just say set email to e.target.value, not validation message, value, right? Save this, copy this, go over here, email, instead of email we will have a password, and then set password over here, set password, right? Save that, that's okay. Now let's create a login over. Let's also create an errors over here. So here let's have this thing. I'll get this thing right from over here. Go to the top, and then we'll have where is our initial data over here. I'll get this. So over here I'll get over this over right up there, and then over here also similarly for a signup.js I'll also copy this and then I'll paste it over here, right? So now let's also display that errors. So here go to our text field, error equals to email error dot state, and then helper text equals to email error dot message, right? So here we'll do the same thing, copy this, and for a password also the same thing, copy and just say password error, not page password error, right? So here let's that's fine, and now let's create a login also now. So here let's create a const sign in equals to an arrow function, and then we'll just say first of all need to have an event.prevent default so that we don't have any refreshes. So e.prevent default this way, and then here first of all we'll set our loading to true, and to sign in we just say auth dot sign in with email and password, and then again you pass your email and password over here, email and password, that's it, and you are signed, and now you're signed in. So first of all obviously you need to have a dot then, and to just check make sure everything is working fine. So here we'll have a dot then, and if it is true then we'll set our password error to our error initial value, and then also set email error to error initial value, right? And then if it is dot, now if we get an error you say dot catch and arrow function. Inside of here first of all we'll need to get an error, then we'll set and then here I'll just copy this guys, I don't want to write it again and again. So here we'll just check if error.code is equals to wrong password, then we'll set a email error to initial value. So here we can have error initial value and then set password of true, incorrect password, else if any of these then it will just say email doesn't exist, right? And then obviously we need to also set our loading to false, right? And similarly we'll do it over here, we'll set a loading to false, and now we will also have an on click, where we have an on click, yeah. So here we'll give an on click equals to sign in, and now let's check does that work or not. So if I click on sign in, okay, actually there's not a way to, so in order to check we are signed in or not, what we need to will get to check the current user which have signed in, what we have to do, if we go to our one second guys, so yeah, so to check our error first of all the way it works is first of all we need to have a basically to check if the user has been logged in or not, what we'll do, we'll just have a use effect. I'll explain what use effect is. So what use effect basically does is, okay, for some reason it's not getting auto import, so I'll import this manually. Yeah, so the way use effect works is the way you write use effect is this, right? So now whatever you write, so some code is execute, right? So for example this is a code that is that the code you write here. So if the syntax is exactly like, so here, okay, so here you also need to include an dependency array. So right, so what happens is now whenever your component load, it will execute this code, and it will do only when your component loads, right? For example, if you add in value over here, for example here we were having an errors, right? For example, let's take an example of that, and if we write an error, so now error is a variable, is a constant of error is basically used it. So now whenever the value inside that error changes, it will rerun that code, right? So whenever the value is changing, it will run the code once the component loads, and also whenever the value gets changed, right? Both of the time that's gonna happen. And now if you don't include this dependency array, then then it will run infinite amount of time. Every single time it's gonna run, right? So in our case, we'll have only a single time. We only want to have a single time, and then first of all we'll create two new use states. Just say const const loading, no, const current user, const current user, set current user equals to use state, right? So here let me also, yeah, so here we'll have a null initially, right? So here now to check this, to check a user, we just say auth dot on auth state change. Basically whenever the auth state changes, then we just say user, and then here we'll check if our user exists. So if our user exists, if there is something inside of here, we'll get a parameter. Then we say set our current user to whatever the user you are giving me, or else set the current user to null, right? And then let's console log our user. Do we have something around here or not? Let's console log this. I'll open up my, okay, so we get an function. Yeah, that's obviously an error. We have to say console.log. Yeah, so here now let's save that. We hopefully should get something inside the console. I'll just zoom out in a bit, zoom in a bit actually, and as you can see, you get a bunch of details, and we have a display name, email, and every detail of an user that is a firebase provides. Obviously we don't get an email, but we have many details going around here, right? So now if I refresh also, we will still have an user having over here. So this is a way you can check if the user is existing, if the user exists or not, right? So the next thing we can do is now, depending on whatever the user is, we'll have an, so now here okay, so first of all, inside of our app, what we'll say, if current user exists, then we'll display our home page, or else we are gonna display a sign in page, right, in case if it doesn't exist. So save that and go back to your application, and boom, you see this, right? Great. So refresh, and here you go, you see this, right? So one more thing guys, what happens is key, so if I refresh, as you can see, first you see this thing, first you see login page for once. That is because this thing depends on the internet connection, and it takes some time to get that data. So what you can do is key, here you can just check, yeah, so to do that, what we can do is we can create another state. We'll name it state const app state of empty, and then here we'll just say set app state to our home, to a string of home, or else we'll just say set our app state to our this thing login, right? Then here what we'll say, I'll remove this, and then here we can see, and here what you can do, you can check if app state if it is triple equals to empty, then if it is sorry, not triple equal to won't come here. If it is app state, it will come over here. If app state is triple equals to empty, then here we'll just have a p tag which will just say loading ... and then here so here now we'll have now here we'll check if, or else if app state is triple equals to our home, then we just say cons of h1 of an home page, or else if app state is triple equals to login, then we'll have our login appearing up, right? So sign in, actually not login, sign in. Save that, and now I think so that should work perfectly. So if I refresh, as you can see, first you get loading, and then displays this. So now only if our user logs out, then you're gonna display this. So for now, what you can do, we can no need to set this. We always have this. If we have this null, so here as you can see, if we refresh, okay, why is this not working? The reason it's not working is because of this. I'll also say login over here. Here, save this. Now as you can see, user gets user is now, if it is login, then it will automatically get that. So it's just basically to check if that works or not. For now, we'll have the same thing, right? So go back to our application, we see our home page. So we'll create a small header over here, and then in which we'll have a pop over right here, right? So let's work on that now. Okay guys, so first of all, so what we can do is key now, so now to get that header, so let's create an another const over here. So we don't need to create another file over here. We'll just say const home page equals to this, and then we can just return h1 div, and then inside of here just say h1 of an hello, right? And then let's just call it inside of this instead of this, right? So just save that, and now we should see our home hello appears up, and as you can see, it is coming up, right? So now here let's work upon our header. So first of all, inside of our header over here, to this we are gonna give a class name of so it's not header basically. So now the reason I'm creating, the major reason, as I told you in the start maybe, so the reason I'm creating this is for because most of my clones are Google clones. So this is a common thing which every Google clone is gonna have. So over there we also have an avatar, right? So that's inside of our header. So here first of all, when we actually, next time when I create in clones, so I don't create in Google clones, I don't have to go through it over it again and again. So I'm being like kind of an key basically see, so that everything goes perfectly, like so whenever we create this, I can explain you in more more clean way, right? So here I can just say div class name of header underscore avatar. So the next time you create this, so you just have to so now if you want to follow my clones, then you have to just do the same. You have to just copy and paste this over here, right? So here and instead of this, we'll first of all, so here we are gonna have we'll wrap this inside of a fragment this way, and then over here we'll have an avatar, the avatar which you saw in the original one. So avatar, save that. Now I think we should see avatar appears up. As you can see, we see that avatar. So here let's create a div, let's give it a class name of header. So we can style this inside of our index.css. So to our dot header, we'll give a display of flex, and then flex direction of column, justify content center, align items, align not self, align items to center, right? Save that. It will now be displayed as a the reason it's not being displayed as a center, because here we have to give an height of 100 view height. So here now also to our avatar sign, where not here, instead of our app.js, to our header underscore avatar, we'll just say you can say cursor of pointer width of 100 pixels, and then I important first of all, so I important, save that, and also height of 100 pixels, I important, right? Save that, and boom, it is now much bigger, right? So here first of all, our app.js, inside of our app.js, we can also sell, this is gonna be a self-closing tag, right? So here we're gonna have a pop over. So this is a material UI feature. So here, to which we are gonna give an anchor origin, basically its origin to an vertical of bottom, vertical to be bottom, and then horizontal of center, horizontal to be center, right? Similarly, let's close this, and then similarly we'll have an so similarly we'll have an transform origin of vertical of top, vertical to top, right? So here now, first of all, let's just have an h1 of an pop over, right? So now here, now the way this works is, first of all, go to the top of this, and now so I got something directly from this material UI. So here first we'll give an anchor rel, the state of null, and then here we'll have a const handle click, in which it says in which we are gonna set our anchor rel to event or current target, which basically means whenever you click on whenever this event is executed, this means on which thing you're clicking on. For example, if I click on this header, it will actually get this code of our header, right? So if I just add this, if I say on click equals to handle click, and then let's console log what is our anchor rel, right? So if I say this console log anchor el, if I save this, open my inspect, and then I'll just click on this, and then if I open my inspect, okay, we see this null. Pretty that's strange. Let me check why we see this null. We should not have seen that, because of on click handle it should be over here, right? Sorry, it has to be over here. 1 second. Yeah, so on click of handle click should be over here, and then if I click on this, let me open my inspect console, and guys, just see here, we actually get our avatar over here, right? So if I open my element, so as you can see inside of here we have an avatar, right? So here we have this avatar up here, so now it knows basically where to show it up, right? So now this basically allows us to now it knows. So basically now material UI will know where it has to display this popover, right? So here we'll give a const open to so first of all we have a const open of boolean of anchor rel. Basically it will convert our whatever the values into a boolean. So basically if it is if for example if there is some value exists in the react in this use state, then it will be true, or if there's no value inside of this, then it will be false, right? Here, and then the simple popover, and this is just an ID over here, right? So these things are done directly. I got this from material UI. So here I'll just say popover of open on close of handle close, and to handle close we just set our anchor el to null, right? So if I save this and if I click on this, as you can see we see this pop over, but some reason it should not have appeared over there. What are we doing wrong? So pop over, we are giving an open of open, id of id, and then on close of anchor rel, and then we have an transform origin of vertical of top, that's correct. Then we have anchor origin of vertical of bottom, and horizontal center. Everything is correct. We should be seeing it over here. Let me refresh it. Not this. Let me refresh this. Okay. Why are we seeing this up there? I have no idea. So what are we doing wrong? We don't have current user also using. Okay, so we'll use it later on. That's not an issue anyways. So here, where are we going wrong? Okay, so here we are giving an on click of handle click. Where did we went wrong? I don't understand it. Is it the no? It cannot be height that is causing an issue. I don't know why it is. So if I remove the styles over here for now, just remove this. It should not be an issue actually. Okay, so if I give some margin, at least I will give some margin over here. Okay. So I'll just do this thing, yeah. And if I just say here, okay, so I'll give some like nice margin to it. So I'll just say margin left of 200 pixels to just check if it's working or not. Okay, and to give an so if I click on this, okay, it's the styles are not an issue actually. So okay, so I just say I important over here. Now let me check it again. Are we getting an anchor EL or not? So here let's just console anchor EL, right? So I'll just open my inspect console. We have null. Okay, so now let me check, do we get anything? Okay, so we are getting this thing, we are actually getting this thing, we always get this. So if I click on this, it gets set to null. So as you can see, okay, so this thing is working. So it says the anchor EL prop provided to the component is invalid. The anchor EL element should be part of the document element. Make sure the element is present in the document and it's not display none. So it basically says it is invalid, right? Yeah, it is saying that is invalid. And why is it so? The anchor EL prop provided to the component is invalid. Did I spell something wrong? Anchor EL. Okay guys, let me just copy from the original one just to make sure I'm not doing anything wrong actually. So now does this thing works? Okay, this thing is also not working. Okay, so this is not working. It's strange. It is actually strange, guys. So instead of having it over here, let me wrap it inside of a fragment. Then here, let me just say this, and then over here I'll just have an avatar. Control X, Control V. I'll have an avatar. We can remove these. Save that. Now does it works? Let's refresh. Okay, God, we don't see anything right now. So here, let me remove this. Let me remove this height. Okay, so this is now working. So okay, so I don't understand the reason why it is happening. Maybe. Okay, so anyway, so here now it's working, so we can do this now. I'll look around this later and so it might be not taking it for some reason over here. I don't know why it is happening. Anyway, so here we'll just give a class name of header. Does it? Yeah, so we'll just give this. So okay, so we'll just have this over here, and then to us header, that's fine. And then here we'll give an height of 100 view height, right? So okay, yeah, so that works perfectly clean. Height of 100 view height. Okay, so we don't need a header over here now. Save that, and now it should be at the bottom. Okay, so that's great. So now let's start creating it. So first of all, inside of our inside of a popover. Okay, so yeah, so there was not an issue whatever we wrote. That was some strange issue. I don't know why was that happening. Anyways, so here we'll have an div of home underscore pop over container, right? And then inside of there we'll have an another div of home underscore pop over underscore top. Then inside of that we are gonna have a badge, and then here we give an overlap of circle, and then here we'll give some angle origin, to which we are gonna give an vertical of bottom, and then horizontal of right after in semicolon, not in semicolon, comma. Yeah, so here we'll have an I'll just close this and save this to so here we'll have an badge content of in here we'll have a div of class name of home underscore badge, and then inside of here we'll have a camera, so camera alternative outline, this thing, and then here we just say class name equals to home underscore camera, right? Make sure we'll just say small c over here, and then inside of this badge we'll have an avatar and a class name of classes dot large. This things come directly from material UI. We'll do this also. Let's start copying. I'll just copy this. So this is directly coming from material UI. You'll get these use styles also. So here, so this is the way you write styles inside of your JS, and this is the feature of material UI. You see, right, with the theme the spacing of 7, with the theme the spacing of 7. So this is a feature of material UI. So here we just say call use style and give this class type. So this is just basic, right? So basically what is happening here is like it's acting like a kind of it is an hook. So here we just say classes dot large. So here it gets these values, so it could be large, or if any class you add over here, and then get this with the theme of spacing according to the material UI, right? So here now if I save this, now actually you should see something, right? We see this, good, and we'll style this later, don't worry. Yeah, so here now outside of this badge we'll have our home underscore text, and over here we'll have our home underscore display name, in which will be obviously this thing, current user dot display name, right? And then also we are gonna have an email, which is gonna be dot home underscore mail, and inside here we'll just say current user dot this thing, email, right? So what this basically means is we are getting the current user. Remember I showed a value inside this, so we just say display name, and if it won't throw up an error if it gives the value doesn't exist, right? So here now outside of this div we are gonna have, outside of our text, we are gonna have our home underscore button, in which we are gonna say manage your Google account, right, this way. And then outside of this div also now, so here we're gonna have an home underscore pop over underscore bottom home, and we can just say btm over here, and then here we'll have a class name of home underscore add button, and then over here, then inside of here we'll have an person outline icon, to which we are gonna give a class name of home underscore add icon, right? And then let auto import this from React, and then here we'll have an p tag p tag of add another account, right? So now outside of this div, here we are gonna have one button which will be this sign out button, in which we are gonna say on click equals to auth dot sign out. So that's the way you sign out with Firebase, and then not self closing tag, and then here the variant is make sure you auto import also. So here the variant is gonna be our outlined, and then here we have a class name of home underscore sign out, right? And then here we just say sign out, save that, and then after this button we are gonna have a footer. So home underscore pop over underscore footer. Then over here we are gonna have an p tag of privacy policy, and then after this we are gonna have a span of this bullet, and then we are gonna have a terms of service, right? Save that, and I know this looks pretty much weird, but don't worry, we're gonna style this. So now let's style this now. So go to your index.css. So to our this paper, which material UI gets a default class name, so to this we give some maximum height and some nice widths over here, and then over here, so this is guys basically calculate, so it will calculate from 100 VH, it will just calculate this thing, right? So here we just give widths and this we just give some width, and home, and it's going to of a container display flex flag column. All of this stuff looks better. and then over here we'll have an to our home underscore underscore pop over top. We'll give a display of flex direction of column, alignment of center, border bottom, 1 pixel solid, and all of this stuff. And then just you can go through, this is just basic styles, and then home underscore badge. To our camera we give some width of 70 pixels, height, margin, and some box shadows and some border radius, so it looks better. What I'll do, I'll shift this to the top left corner, right? Let's do that. So where we have our header, not header, so what we can do is key here, let's just say we can remove this, you can remove this. Over here we can say position of absolute, and then right of 0 and top of 20 pixels. Save that. Everything will shift to the left. I hope so. Okay, it does not get shifted to left for some reason. We are giving a position of absolute, right of 0 and top of 20. That's correct, I hope so. Remove this display of flex first of all. Okay, so it gets shifted to the right, right of 0, so left of 0, then left of 0. 1 second guys, so it has to be at the right, it has to be at right. Just say right of 0. Okay, why is not this working? Okay, so it must be the width that is causing the issue. So here also we'll just say width of 100 view width, and then why is not working, this right not working? So let me get this right. So here we have this over here. Let me, okay, so this is the reason is this, we have this is not getting right over this is position absolute getting overwritten. Let us just say I important, and it won't get overwritten, and as you can see it gets shifted to the right. So here also just set right of 20 pixels, right? So we see an avatar also now. That's great. So if I click on this, I think we should see it properly appear, so right. So great, now we can continue styling this. So now to our home underscore camera, when we hover on that, we'll give this some nice colors. As you can see it looks better. So here to our home underscore text, we'll give a display of flex, line of center, flex direction of column, and then home underscore display name, we'll give have a font family of pop-ins. So to get this font family of pop-ins, we'll get this font family also right sooner, not now. We'll get this also after some time. Here we'll have a home underscore we'll have a font family of Roboto, and then to our home underscore button, we'll give a background color of white, and then some basics. I'll just go through, you can go around this so it looks better. The reason it looks very much weird is because we are not giving the font family. We'll give that soon once we are done with the styling. And then on hover, we'll give this kind of in grayish kind of a background color, right? Looks better. And then to our home underscore pop over bottom, we'll give a display of flex, alignment of flex direction of column, alignment of center, but that doesn't make any sense, doesn't work. So I think so some styles, yeah, that was some styles. So here now looks better. app.js home underscore pop over, not this, sorry, not this, pop over bottom. Okay, anyway, so in text css, yeah. So over here home underscore add button, so here we'll give display of flex, line center, looks great. And then to our add button, whenever we hover on that, we'll give this background color right this way. And then to our home underscore add icon, we'll give some margin left and margin right, so that it looks better now, also better. So and now to our home underscore sign out, we give margin top, color, and text transform, right? To now to our home underscore pop over footer, we given display of flex, position absolute bottom 0 with 120%, and this stuff, some basic styles. And then to a span, we given margin of 10 pixels, right? So that's great, we are done with this. Now one more thing, go at the top, and then we don't need this, all of this now, right? Save that, and then boom, you have this right now, right? So that's great. So now we can, now what we can do is we can actually yeah, so let's import our pop-ins font family. So just go to this, so just search for fonts.google.com, fonts.google.com. I'll zoom in. just for so that you can see properly. Just search for pop-ins over here, pop-ins, click on this, then select we need 400. You can also select 5. Yeah, that's it, we just need 400, and then just copy this and then go at the top and then import it or paste it over here, right? So here, now go to your application, boom, looks better, right? So great. So as you can see, it looks much better now, and also we are done with this completely now. We are done with this completely, exactly, we're done with this completely. Okay, let's reduce this font size a bit. So where we have our home __ text, okay, let's reduce our font size. Let me check, we don't have a font size proper. So here to our button, okay, so here let's give it a font size of 12 pixels, maybe not 12, 15. 15 is fine. So here we'll give it to our home __ button. Let's do that, ptn. One second, I'll just copy this, go back to my application, just search for this, and here I'll give a font size of 15 pixels. Similarly for my, okay, everything's fine then, right? Let me refresh. Okay, so everything looks much great and better now. So you can reduce this font size a bit. This basics, you can reduce the font size if you want. I won't be doing. I think that looks better. That looks better because this is the okay. So this would be what you will see, because I was zoomed in a bit. That might be an issue that was causing it. That it looks kind of that. Anyways, so here now, since we are done with this, now let's do the last thing, and now let's deploy it and we'll end this video, right? So here, so first of all, what you need to do, you need to just say npm install -g firebase tools, right? So once you do that, it will install the firebase CLI for you, and then when I won't do that because I have already done that, and npm takes a lot of time. And then once you do that, just say firebase login. So since I'm already logged in, I don't have to do that. Okay, so but I have to change my account, and I'm not logged in with this account, so I would need to change it. So I just say firebase logout. So login is the account which you created the project initially, right? We created the project from this account, from whatever account you created, login from that, right? So go back to your VS Code, click on Y, yes, then it will open this for you. I'll just do that. So I'll just click on allow. Okay, done. Go back to your VS Code, and once that is done, just say firebase init, and then just click on yes. Go to your hosting, and then click on use an existing project, and then over here search for the project that you want to. For example, in our case, what was it? So here, what was the name? What was the name actually? I don't remember. So okay, let me check the name. Also the account from which it's created. Okay, the account is correct. It's YT login. YT login, right? Okay, over here, up there, YT login. Yeah, this thing. So I'll just click on this and make sure you type build over here. Just type build. Click hit enter. Yes, no in my case. Once it is done, just say npm run build. So what this will with this command do is it will get all the important files that you need for your production version. It will get all of those files and put this inside of this, so the structure would kind of be different over there, and this thing, you won't get these node models and all of this. So this is the main. So now this will be the production folder that you will need to use it, right? So this is the thing which you will need to use it, and then we'll wait for some time, and then we have the last command to execute, and then we'll be done with this. By the time it happens, let me know how was the video. Did you got something knowledgeable? I think so you got. If you're till this at this point, and if you're new to programming or React to Firebase, you definitely have got some knowledge. But was that knowledge valuable for you? What do you think about my channel? If you have any feedbacks, always let me know. And if you have any doubts, make sure you can DM me on Instagram. You can, or also you can drop them in comment section, and definitely reply to you. There's no chance I'm not gonna reply you till the time I don't get a lot of subscribers. I'm definitely gonna reply, and even though I get a lot of subscribers, I'll try replying on every comment. But that is just that step is way far. I don't know. Yeah. So here we'll just say Firebase deploy, right? So here you just say Firebase deploy. Don't worry guys, it's taking too long time for me to grow. I don't know if I'm gonna grow also. That's okay, that is always not an issue. I'm not here to grow also over here. Anyway, so let's do not get on this topic, and now it will deploy it to our Firebase project, and then it will give this URL for you. Just click on this control plus click on open. Okay, so why do we see this? That is something that we should not see. This is something. Okay, so here you guys actually set up your Firebase hosting. Okay, so there's some issue with it. So if you go to a build folder, we have the static whatever answer of a JS. So what I'll do guys is you might have not got this issue. This is very rare. It happens to many people. And it's kind of a rare also. So I'll just do it again. So I'll just say npm run build. I'll just do it again. There's no other option I can do, and I'll try doing it again over there, right? So it should not be an issue actually. So anyways, let's see. So here, okay, I got that. So the reason it is happening guys is the reason we are getting this error because I might have spelled over there wrong. So I just said I might have spelled BUID over there. Okay, so that is the reason we are getting this over there. So to remove this, so to do this, actually we will have to do the setup again. So what we'll do is so for now, actually what you can do is just remove all the Firebase files which you see, right? So delete this. If this thing happens for you, just delete this and do the setup again. But for now, what we can do, I can just copy all of this, copy this and delete this, and then inside of this BUID I'll just paste it. So this was the reason you're getting the now we won't see that because I must have spelled that wrong. That was the reason you're getting this. So if I just say Firebase deploy, now I most probably shouldn't see that. So if I check my index.html, is my index.html, right? So it is not the default Firebase thing, as you can see. It's favicon.ico, right? So and also we have 16 files now. Okay, so I must have, that is the only issue, that I must have spelled that wrong. So that is why it created this BUID folder. So now it will work most probably. Okay, shit, it doesn't work. Does this works? Okay, it works actually, but it works. Great. So as you can see, it works. You can try signing it with it. So if I will just do this, let's sign in with my account just to make sure everything. Okay, we still do not have this. I don't understand why we do not have this. So we don't get errors much. And if I sign in, okay, we have this save. Okay, we have this avatar also. Great. So we have everything working fine. Thank you for watching. Hope you got some knowledge from that, and if you got that, if you got any knowledge from that, and if you liked it, like this video. If you enjoyed this video, no, not enjoyed. There's nothing to enjoy. There's nothing for enjoying over here. If you got some valuable knowledge from here, make sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Right? See you in the next video. Bye.